Hey, it's Clay Moden out here in Buffalo today at the WoodMaxx headquarters, and I am so excited. Finally getting a tour of all the behind-the-scenes action. How do their products go from basic steel to these amazing products that you can have on your property and at your house? We're going to find out today, but before we get started, I want to introduce you to the WoodMaxx team. I'm here with Tucker and Adam today. Tell me about yourselves and tell me about WoodMaxx.
My name's Tucker. I came on 9 years ago. I started as just a laser and press brake operator, and now I'm co-founder and president of the Back 40 Group.
My name's Adam. I started concurrent with Tucker a few months later. I came on as the import supervisor and kind of worked my way into design engineering, product engineering, and eventually led to the creation of our assembly line, which we'll show you here in a bit.
Can't wait. Pretty excited. A behind-the-scenes tour from basic steel to these great machines here at WoodMaxx.
This here is a manufacturing building where everything starts. This is where the raw steel comes in, and then it gets processed, put on our 6 kilowatt fiber laser. Our fiber laser, basically, with a 6 kilowatt power, we can cut up to 1 inch thick material on it. We have one laser operator who takes care of basically keeping the machine running, keeping the material loaded. And this laser actually has a pallet changing system on it too. So down at the far end there, he'll load up 5,000 pounds of steel at a time. And then he will continue to basically cut and it'll unload onto these tables down here.
That's incredible. So how much steel do you actually go through? Like, this is pretty incredible.
Roughly 2 million pounds a year.
A year?
A year.
That's incredible.
And our laser operator, he unloads it all, stacks it in the nice piles. He'll get a job list every single week of what units he's running, the mixture of machines. And we offer 6 different PTO wood chippers too.
So with that kind of material that's coming through, if he's not here, what's happening? Like, how do these things still run? Being
a small company, I'm his backup technically, because this is where I started. When we first started here, I was running both machines concurrently, and that's the the easeability of these machines. The laser, I can start this machine up, put the job list on it, and it will keep cutting throughout the day.
Oh, so it's kind of like an automated deal.
Pretty much. So when I start the job list down here, it will cut on this table here. It will move down, swap the tables out with a new sheet, and as that new sheet starts cutting, goes down to the far end, it actually picks up the parts and puts it on an unload skid.
That's incredible.
Yeah. So every week it's a different, not every week it's a different mixture. Usually about every 4 to 6 weeks we change up the mixture of machines depending upon sales and customer needs. Yeah.
All right, so it goes from this machine to the brake machine then? Is that how this works? Is that what that is?
Yeah, so this is our 135-ton tool cell. Basically, this is where all the parts get bent that need some sort of forming on them. Depending upon the thickness of material, you'll see it right now, so it's changing through the tooling. Traditional press brake machines, you had to load and unload the tooling on it basically by hand. Now with this machine, after our press brake operator gets done with a part, he can go over to his screen, go to the next job on the job list, and right now it's loading up the material or the tooling for that job.
No kidding. So like how long on average does this all take?
So a wood chipper basically from start to finish takes about 3 weeks.
No kidding.
Here in the laser and brake area, they kind of run concurrently. He'll get through a whole set of machines in about 40 hours of cutting. There's about 28 hours of bending for the whole set of machines, and then it moves on to the next shop.
And that's what this is. It's bending it, getting it ready for the next move.
Bending all the parts that you see down here. This is actually our in-feed bin system. So he'll palletize the parts for the sub-assemblies, take it over to the weld shop, and then that's basically where the next stop on the tour goes.
Oh, can't wait.
So this is the weld shop. Weld shop.
Oh man.
Yeah, it's set up.
A lot going on.
Yeah, it's set up for 9 different weld stations. Currently, there's 7 weld stations with downdraft tables on them. So if you notice, the air in here is quite clean.
Yeah, it is.
Usually, it's just dirty, grimy air. So every station here, you'll see it has a downdraft table. So it's actively sucking in the air, and it goes through a double filtration system with HEPA filters on it.
I can't believe how clean it feels in here.
Yeah.
Honestly, like I thought it'd be smoke and all kinds of dust. It really doesn't feel like that.
No. So generally, too, most weld shops stay warm in the winter around Western New York, and then in the summertime, they're super hot. Welders can't stand, obviously. You're in a jacket, you have a hood on, you're melting metal together. Our weld shop is air conditioned too, which also has another double filtration system on it.
So I've seen welding before, but what's the difference between like welding and welding for heavy equipment like you guys do?
So we have lots of 1/4" and 3/8 material. We do spray arc welding. So it's super high heat, lots of gas, and it's a fast weld that you'll see on the seams here very shortly. But that way, it gives you the structural integrity of melting the two metals together on there.
It's pretty incredible. So things come in here, you weld them, you get them ready for the next stop, but it just feels like it's a great environment to work in too for these guys.
And that's one thing we focus on is keeping employees happy. If you have happy employees, you get good product coming out. And most of our welders, we still have the same 3 original welders that we started with.
Okay.
That was over 8 years ago. Those 3 guys are here. We added 2 more, and we still have another couple we're adding.
Incredible. So these machines are built to take some abuse based on all this welding and everything.
Yeah, and to protect the machine long term, that's the next step in the process, where we go through powder coat.
Okay.
Again, powder coat finish is different than a wet paint solution. It's more durable for outdoor power equipment, gets a longer last. I always compare our machines, how we're building today, with how manufacturers used to do it 20, 30 years ago. You think about, like in Buffalo, the old Aaron snow blowers, the walk behinds, everyone's still using them and they're still lasting. It's the closest comparison to a machine that we build here currently. Try and bring back that overbuilt, over-engineered equipment that people can trust and stand behind.
Well, we go through some pretty crazy winters, crazy weather, so you got to have something to really protect them, I would imagine.
Yeah, and so this, with our powder coat system, we started on this first system here, this tiny little box in that one. That's a 2-stage system, batch system. So essentially, he'd spray the parts, he'd put it down in that other section down there. It'd bake for 20, 30 minutes, and then you have to pull out the hot parts. And then those parts, 1 of 2 ways you have to get them off the line. Either super hot with welding gloves on, or you have to wait for them to cool down.
I mean, this is pretty intricate. You can see what he's doing there. It's not just for the looks. I mean, they look awesome, but it's a functional coating that's going on there.
Yeah, and part of the reason why our coating lasts so long is our powder coater has been here for 11 years.
Oh, no kidding.
He's been spraying parts for 11 years here. Before here, he was spraying parts for another 5 years. He's responsible for the finish on every part you see coming through.
And you can just tell, just by the little bit we're watching here, how detailed this guy is. Like, he's taking his time, he's making sure it's done the right way.
Yep, and again, it starts with prep on the parts too. So he takes care of the prep on every single individual piece here. That way you get a nice durable finish, nice sheen, and minimal rework on it too. So that's how these machines, we offer a 7-year, 1,000-hour warranty. It's not a gimmick, it's just to actually prove to people that we stand behind our equipment and what they stand for.
And they really stand up to what we throw at them.
Yeah, and that's a big part of this. So with his expertise, again, you can only put so good of equipment in front of someone. If they don't know how to run it and don't have that special eye for it, you won't get a good finish. You'll get blotchiness, it's called orange peel, you'll get inconsistency. There's a nice clean film on every single part we do here.
All right, so it's coated. What happens next?
Then it goes down to the assembly line. We'll touch on that 3-stage system going from the original batch oven. Down here is where the line comes through. So you actually see the parts hanging. They get put on these hook systems here. He'll spray in this booth here, work his way down. After about 10, 15 minutes, the spray comes in the oven here. It'll start baking 20, 30 minutes. And then this is the 3rd stage part where it's in the cooling booth. So before, when we used to have to wait for the parts to cool down or pulling them off hot, they're ready to touch within 5 minutes.
No kidding.
So that, again, speeds up the production and the efficiency going through. And then after that's all done, they come off and join our assembly line.
It's pretty amazing.
So we finally get to the main assembly area.
So this is where everything comes out of here?
This is where it all comes together. You got it. So we get a lot of our powder-coated parts all staged. Start building up some base frames. You can kind of see the core components of the chipper coming together. Arguably, probably the core itself is our flywheels. That's what's doing all the work and all the chippers. Our flywheels, we have a couple different variations. Our large ones actually get dynamically balanced so that we ensure that everything runs really true. You don't get a lot of vibration or anything like that when you're chipping. This assembly line in itself is composed of 10 different substations. We range from a jack shaft substation, which is really what's driving the power to the chipper. Over here, we have this is our patented hydrostatic technology. So this is another thing that kind of makes WoodMaxx stand out to its competitors. We're the only ones on the market that offer a hydrostatic infeed system. All of our competitors can only offer a hydraulic. So a lot of advantages to hydrostatic, runs more efficiently, it's a lot more concise for controlling the infeed and which materials being fed into the chipper. It also helps your knife longevity because you're able to have that really smooth control. So kind of coming together, you can kind of see now we have the main four components.
Like a machine now.
Yes, yes. So we have our upper and lower blowers on our base frame, our very large infeed bin. This particular model is our large one. This is actually what you saw when we first started in the other building. This is kind of coming together. Snuck a couple smaller guys in here. This is our 8500 G Plus, is a gravity feed machine. Doesn't have a lot of the hydrostatic infeed technology. Doesn't have the powertrain ramp up. This is a direct drive machine, really catered for subcompact tractor owners. A lot of homeowners, DIY customers really prefer this machine here. Another really unique thing that we have with the infeed system is this carriage assembly. This is all put together here and then dropped into the actual infeed bin of the chipper, compiled with these gas springs. These are nitrogen-filled gas springs. A lot of our competitors are only using a mechanical coil spring. The disadvantage there is when you're feeding smaller material, you don't get as much force acting on the material to feed it in. These provide consistent downforce pressure all the time, whether you're feeding a twig or feeding that 9-inch log.
With all this that's going on, is the flywheel the most important? Like, what's the most important part of this whole thing?
Arguably, yeah. Yeah, I would say the flywheel is probably, I mean, that's the heart of this unit, right? Without that, you're not chipping.
And it's crazy that you balance it, like almost like they do with tires, just to make sure it spins perfectly.
Yeah, it's got to be perfect. It's a very heavy, robust, thick piece of steel. If that is not balanced, this thing's going to shake itself apart.
It's incredible.
So, finishing here, obviously, put some really nice decals on it. We pride ourselves, not only is this chipper American manufactured, but a lot of the components are also sourced here in America, even down to the littler things like the drive belts. These are made in America. The hydrostatic system that I referred to earlier, all those components are coming from right here in the United States. A second thing that we really pride ourselves on here is the staff. All these guys here, they've been with us for many years now. So these guys know the machines in and out. It gives that quality reputation that we try to boast ourselves on. We don't have new guys coming in here every other day of the week. You know, it's the same crew, it's the same team we've had for 5, 6 years, 7 years now. My quality inspector has been with us for 9 years. So all that to be said, we take a lot of pride in the manufacturing, the assembly, obviously the American made. The last thing that we need to do is make sure that we package it properly. You know, it'd be a shame to send such a nice quality piece of machinery out to a customer and then have it arrive and damaged or whatever.
This is the way it would show up?
So this is the exact way that shows up to the customer. It's all slot locked. We call this slot lock. Kind of goes together like a big puzzle.
Yeah.
Jigsaw puzzle. And very high durable OSB plywood here.
Anywhere in the U.S.?
Anywhere in the U.S.
This one's going to Missouri.
That one's going to Missouri.
That's so cool.
Yeah, so.
Guys, thank you so much for today. This is incredible to see it from beginning to end, from a piece of steel to a product that comes to your house or your business. Visit woodmaxx.com. We'll ship it right out to you. Guys, thank you so much.